Hello, welcome to Cards of the Week. I'm Barisan,
I'm the Night Shadow.
and we're here with this week's Cards of the Week. Without further ado, we'll just go ahead and start with the first card.
Sure.
First card is Dignity of a Knight Saber, yellow 0015, Servant Weapon trait. Your other character that is in the middle of your front row gains the following ability. This card cannot be chosen by opponent's effects, and you can pay 1, take the top deck to clock, and rest this to search for a zero saber, show it to your opponent, add it to your hand, and shuffle the deck.
That's a good card, and it's mainly because of the second ability. As far as I remember, there's not very many sabers that actually plus, and this card's actually pretty good for plussing.
As a +1, it's pretty good. It actually kind of pretty much mimics the one in Railgun.
Well, yeah. Except the Railgun one's better because it's straight.
The one in Railgun had higher power because that was its only ability.
At least this one has an effect in the back row.
Yeah, so this one compared to the one in Railgun, this one has more use in the back row once it's been used. But other than that, I don't know if there's any card in particular you don't want to be chosen by card effects.
Well, anything that you would want to change into, like if you're running a non-mono yellow deck, then I can think of a few cards that change from 2 to 3 that you'd want to keep safe from anti-change counters.
Yeah, I guess that's true since those counters do have to target per se.
Other than that, I don't see much use out of that first ability.
I'm sure someone will find something. Next card, Resolve to Fight Together, Shiro, yellow 00500, Master and Weapon trait. All your other Master trait gains Clock Encore. When you play this card, you can pay 2. If you do, search for Saber's Master Shiro, show to your opponent, add it to hand, shuffle the deck.
Goodbye, Avenger.
Yeah, this pretty much is better than Avenger. The only reason why you play Avenger at this point is because that card's a serving card and this one is a Masters. And even then, the Avenger becomes Master as soon as once it hits field anyways. And
well, if you have enough characters on board.
Yeah, I guess so. But the point is, this one has more use. Saber's Master Shiro is a decent card overall. Honestly, this is probably the better Avenger. The better Avenger, I guess we should call it, to play at this point.
Yeah, because the Servant trait didn't really matter on the Avenger because it wasn't really used in Servant decks. Because obviously you won't get any effect out of that Clock Encore because not very many cards are both Servant and Master.
And this one is like easily the best one to pick. Top of that, you can search for a Saber anyways. Alright, next card. Perfect Day for Date Rin. Red 3210k, Master and Jewel trait. When you play this card from hand, you draw up to 2 cards, then discard 1. When you play this from hand, you rest a Master or Servant that is in stand. And when you play the Climax Tosaka Master Crest in the Climax zone, you can pay the cost. It's 2 costs. If you do, deal X to your opponent. X issue another Climax in your raid room at that point in time. The Climax is a 1k1 comeback trigger.
I don't know how much I like the heavy burn, but then again, this could be a replacement for the Burn 6 event that the Rin combo decks like to use, so maybe that's good.
To be honest, we should not really be compared to that. We should be comparing to the original Rin and Archer card.
But I see that card is different because you have the +2 soul that you can side attack and still deal the 1 damage, and the attack is on attack deal 1. So I actually don't think we can compare it that way. I liken this more to the Rin combo deck that top decks a whole bunch of cards and then deals X damage. Well, 6 damage in the case of the event. With that other Rin Archer card, you run a +2 soul literally so that you can side level 3s for 1 damage, at the same time deal 1, so you're doing 1, 1, 1, 1. If you have 2 copies, it's really, really annoying to kind of deal those 6 attacks, and, well, this one seems less about dealing 1 damage and more about dealing X damage, or heavy damage in this case. At level 3, if you haven't been brainstorming too much, you typically have 4 or 5 around this time, so yeah, that's where I see this card.
It's hard to say. There's no real burn combo to compare to outside of, Rin and Archer, and that one's pretty simple as it is. It's hard to say which one is better, to be honest. You probably just run both anyways.
Yeah.
And honestly, if you play a Rin and Archer deck, you'll probably be running both this card and that other card anyways, because this one's a comeback trigger, the other one's a +2 soul. It's not like you can't combine the two.
Well, it's true, but you typically have some other room, right?
Yeah, probably. Okay, I guess we'll move on. Heroic Spirit Rider, green 3210k, Servant Weapon trait. When you play this from hand, choose one of your opponent's level 2 and lower characters, send it to waiting room, and then if you do, your opponent choose a level 0 in his waiting room, put it on field, where that character was before. And with this card, reverse his opponent in battle. With the Climax After School Dance is in the Climax zone. You place that card to the owner's clock, which the Climax is a stock 1 soul from green card from your waiting room.
Oh boy. That first effect, I don't think there's been this combination of effects before. The whole level 2 to a waiting room, grab a level 0, then revert clock kick. I don't think
The only character with that effect is still Nui. So
yeah. Well, there's not. Well, there is also a backup that has that too. The Nico backup.
that one doesn't really count.
Yeah, technically, yeah. But yeah, I really like this effect. Obviously, if you're choosing a front row character, they're probably not going to choose a level 0 to replace it with if they fear that you have the Climax, which essentially gives you a free lane for you to direct attack, which is kind of nice.
Yeah, that's true. The question it is questionable if your opponent plays is still have a level 2 up in front row. I suppose if it doesn't matter if it's your opponent has not reached level 3 at that point, they might have one.
Yeah.
Of course, you could. It depending on your opponent's waiting room at that point in time. You might just be just removing a card in general.
And removing a card is never bad. It's
Yeah,
literally
I know,
free kill.
but with this card, you kind of want to keep that card on field sometimes.
Well, maybe.
I mean, like the
And
Climax
besides, you can
combo
just target
itself.
the
The
back
Climax
row, right?
combo itself gives no power. The Climax combo, it's like almost exactly like Lucia from Rewrite.
But it's a rider, so you're gonna have the two things in the back row anyways, the two twins. So
Ideally,
it's gonna be a 12K.
ideally, it doesn't always happen.
It doesn't.
Sometimes it doesn't always happen. Well, it most likely happens, but it won't always happen.
It seems to always happen against me though.
Trust me. I've played enough games against riders to say it doesn't happen all the time. And when it doesn't happen all the time, the deck just fumbles. Anyways, next card. Symbol of the Ordinary Sakura. Green 002K Sport Trait. You can discard a card from your hand if you do, and when you play this card, and if you do, look at the top 4 and choose. Wait, a green card from among them. Show to your opponent. Green character, my bad. Add it to your hand and discard the rest.
I was about to say that if it was a green card, it would be so much better because you could grab the Climax for the Climax combo.
I forgot about that.
Unfortunately-
I forgot to mention green character.
Yeah, but unfortunately, it isn't its green character, which makes this slightly worse. However,
It's
there
perfect.
is-
It's perfect for the rider deck, honestly.
It is. But not only that, but just thinking about the card in general, I mean, like it's another brainstorm type. This is the good kind of brainstorm type that doesn't require stock. It just requires a discard from hand, and so essentially you're filtering out cards at the same time brainstorming. I like this kind of ability. It doesn't matter that it's restricted to green characters. I like it.
It depends. Like I said, it depends on the deck. I've never seen outside of rider. I've never really seen a deck that runs green at that high enough number to actually consider using this without going minus.
I'd be happy if this card came to English.
But yeah, this actually lets you help you get to the lowly twin gods. That's what I like to call. I know the actual name, but I'm but because I know most people might not even know the name because the card is from Hollow
Atraxia.
Yeah, Hollow Atraxia. It's not too. I don't think that many people actually knows them. And that card's a green card, and that card isn't always the easiest card to get because it's not searchable. You can only salvage it and play the caster Climax combo
Well, the Caster Climax combo is actually pretty good for it.
for the deck too. But
Yeah.
with this card out, you might not have to, but
Yeah. I
you
mean,
might not
this is
you might
another way to
not
grab
have
that
to,
card.
but it helps. You might just play you might play that card anyways and use this, and maybe you'll grab the card through it that way anyways. Otherwise, it's a good cover rider for sure because how many cards in rider deck is green?
Pretty much everything, unless you're running the Caster combo, in which case maybe a third of your deck is blue. So that's pretty good.
Yeah, it's pretty good. You should have a target in the rider deck. In the other deck, it becomes questionable. In a standard deck, that's actually this card's pretty good in standard now. This card is pretty good if anyone still plays standard. Because there's a green character, it's not trait related anymore.
Well, yeah, but unfortunately, Standard's kind of discontinued.
Yeah, that's too bad. I wonder if we have another standard tournament soon.
Oh, sheesh.
Anyways,
There's a reason it's discontinued, man.
anyways, next card, dual blade archer, red 106k, survey weapon trait. This card cannot side attack.
Boring and crappy.
Well, I know it's boring. I know it's crappy. It at least has clock on core.
What? Oh, what? No. What?
Yes. You forgot the ring card that gives clock on core to archers.
Oh, right. Never mind. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Still sucks.
Yeah, well, admittedly, it still sucks, but hey, it's a free 160k that cannot side attack. Oh yeah, that's right.
If you want,
If you go against a card like the
really?
two little buster twins, then you're fucked.
No. If you need a 106k archer, then you might as well get the one from Fate Zero.
I don't know.
Seriously.
Is it? Oh, you meant that one. Yeah, I guess
Yeah,
that one would
if
be
your
that one
opponent
is
has
that
four
one
more
that one would be more
characters.
that one is much better now I think about it.
Yeah. If your opponent has 4 more characters on their stage plus 1k, it's literally the easiest 106k ever.
Unless your opponent doesn't play very many cards.
What, are they not playing a back row?
Actually, that's very possible for some decks.
Well, some decks, but I mean, like, most decks nowadays have something in the back row, like
Yes.
Brainstorm or whatever. Like, this is that card is a 106k without any downside. This card should not see play.
The only reason why you've been seeing play is because of this next card. For sake of victory, Rin, red 3295, master dual trait, experience. When you have for sake of victory, Rin, a dual blade
Wielding.
archer in your level zone. This card loses a level in your hand. When you play this card from hand, you may salvage a master or servant back to your hand.
I wouldn't play that.
And for people who don't know, this is pretty much a exact copy of Lewis from Zero to Kama, except it doesn't heal. And 500 less.
Yeah, there's a reason why.
And then top that, it has to use itself as one of the experience costs. So you have to play at least 3 copies.
It's awkward. It's just really awkward. You have to put that in the level zone and then a crappy level 1 archer in order to get this out at level 2, and all it does is salvage. Like, it essentially becomes worse than a 2/2 vanilla.
Hey, look at Lewis. You had to put a level. You had to put a low.
No. She heals.
I thought healing's not a thing anymore. I know.
Well,
I'm
no,
just.
no. Healing is a thing. Healing is a thing.
I know.
But even then, I mean, like, it's at least a solid 10k level 3 that you can't side attack really easily. This thing is at 9500. Like, seriously, 2/2 vanillas do better than this. And what do you get on play? Salvage? Great job. You paid 2 to salvage. Welcome to the good life? Like, you should not be using up level 2 slot or level 3 slots for this at all.
Yeah, pretty much. You need at least 3 copies to make this work consistently enough to work. Unless you're super good and you play with 2.
Like, seriously, 3 copies of that. That's like the typical decks nowadays, at least that I like to build, run 6 to 8 level 3s, and I'm taking up to 50% of my level 3 lineup just for that.
Yes.
I want my level 3s to have some impact, and well, that doesn't.
Hey, look at Agent Capital Takane takes up all 4 slots. So no longer relevant. Now in
It's
your
no longer
restriction
relevant.
list.
Point, right? I mean, it used to be when advanced summoning was a big thing, healing was a big thing, and having a beat stick was a big thing. It kind of checked all 3 of those boxes, and now it doesn't.
Anyways, this card. Next card. Fate Keepsake. Red 1/1 event. Salvage 2 dual trait. Return to hand. Discard 1.
Hi, Rin. This is definitely for the Rin deck.
Yep, definitely for the Rin deck. No other deck you could. I can't think of any other deck to actually use this card.
No, there's no way. Now, the thing to be noting here is that the Rin deck already runs a bunch of events, so I guess you could take out the burn events and replace it with the 3/2 Rin earlier, and not the crappy one, and then replace the 2/3 events with the burn 6 events with these ones, so that way you keep the same amount of events in the deck, but then you just increase the potency of the deck.
I can't comment on it. To me, it's no different. It's not really all that different from any 2/1 events that salvage whatever.
Well, granted, but this one is just a pay one, salvage 2, ditch 1. It's pretty specific. It's a handful.
No, it's one level lower than the others.
Yeah, which is a big deal, right? I mean,
It is a big deal. Yeah.
especially because the Rin is that you want to be top decking starts at level 1. So
Yeah, that's definitely a card you want to get as soon as possible.
Hmm.
I can even see even Rin and Archer decks still be using that card, even if they're not playing any level twos.
Yeah, completely possible.
They'll still be using that card.
Though I would rather run Vimana because you salvage two archers and then ditch one without paying any cost.
Well, not much to say about that card. Salvage two Rins, discard one. Yeah, that's about it.
Yeah.
Okay, next card. Knight's Oath Saber. Yellow, 3/2/95, servant and weapon trait. For every other master or servant you control, this gains 500. And then, Musashi Burn. I don't want to go through that whole text.
All right. Well, you get a Musashi. You get a Musashi. Everybody gets a Musashi.
I don't get a Musashi.
Oh, right. You. How many LSC did you do?
Sorry?
How many LSC did you do?
How many what?
LSC.
LAC?
Yeah.
I don't know. Not enough.
Yeah. Have you got a
apparently.
Musashi yet?
Oh, no, that's not. Oh, you meant on my Genkai account? I meant for Item Master.
Oh yeah. I'm being facetious here, obviously, because we both have a Musashi, and the one who actually has a girlfriend that looks like Musashi doesn't have one.
But the whole time that the whole Musashi thing was going, I picked up 4 Musashis. I cried.
You wanted Yamato, right?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah. There's not much to say about this card. That's why we're not talking about it too much, because this card is just good. It's an 11/5 that has a relevant burn effect, and it's a really good level 3 saber. What else can you say?
It's searchable.
Oh yeah.
That's all. That's all I'm gonna say. It's searchable, although it's kind of risky to be searching at that level for damage.
Yeah.
I guess it doesn't matter if you plan to win that turn, but yeah, whatever.
Well, yeah. And besides, you can also search for the next card too, right? Which is your healer.
That's questionable, but we'll just go right
Of
to the
course,
next
of course, of
card.
course.
Under the glow of the morning sky, Shiro. Yellow, 3/2/10k, master and weapon trait. When you play this card, you may heal, and when you play this card, you may discard a weapon character. If you do, this card gains 25 and a soul.
I've seen our Fate players that run yellow run the level 3 saber from Fate Zero, and admittedly, that's a bad card. But
But
I,
that was their only option.
well, not only that, but they ran that card to increase soul damage because otherwise they'd just be running the trial deck one from the Fate Zero trial deck,
Oh,
right?
you're talking. I thought you're talking about the. I thought you're talking about the TD.
Oh no, I'm talking about the booster pack one,
Oh, you're talking
the
about the
one
booster
that gives
pack one.
soul when you reverse the character.
I thought you were talking about the one that came from the TD.
Oh
That
no.
was like the only healer that's actually any if any good.
Yeah. Well, anyways, this kind of ticks both boxes. It's not only a healer, which was the TD Saber, but it's also able to give plus soul to itself, which is a BP Saber. So combining the essential uses of both of them is pretty good. I don't dislike the fact that you had to discard a weapon. I think that that's a fine cost. Being able to side level twos for 1 damage and just gaining that extra power is just really nice. I like this card a lot more than I probably should.
I think it's pretty shit myself, but
Well, you have to think of the
I can see the use. No, I cannot say I cannot see the use. It's just that it seems so
Meh, right?
mediocre compared to some of the other level 3s you see. Like I'm trying to think of a level 3 that's Win and Archer has, but I never think about it. Yeah, actually this one might actually be decent compared to those.
Exactly.
Is that it about this card?
Yeah, that's pretty much it. The main comparison points were the previous sabers, and really this takes the job of both of them essentially. Like who needs the -1 soul and who really needs the 2k power when you have 4 or less cards in hand. So really this does both. And if you ever ran one of those, and you need more burn, I mean, like you'll be running the saber, and then you'll be running, if you really want to troll one alter saber. But if you're not, then more copies of this card.
This is the end of the card list. Anything of note in particular that yes.
For English, the Milky Holmes decks are finally into North America, so at least Canada, so they should be getting going with events May 29, May 30, and May 31. That's Friday to Sunday. Attack on Titan's release date has been mentioned. Did we cover that last week? Okay.
Nope, we
So
didn't.
for English, it's coming out July 3 for the trial decks, and July 17 for the booster packs. As for Japanese, they are getting it, I believe, September 11 for the trial decks and September 25 for the booster packs.
So the English got the boost, the Attack on Titan about
2 months,
2 months earlier.
which is pretty cool.
That's decent amount of time, I guess, to
Yeah.
see what could happen with it.
The best part is nobody can complain about a translation error until the Japanese one comes out.
Oh yeah, that is true. That is true. That is true. So
That's great. It's like, so which one is translated wrong? Is it the one that came first, or is it the? Oh boy, that's gonna be fun. I'll wait those fun times.
all right. That is the end of this podcast. I hope we see you next time.
All right, catch you later.